Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing on this Monday? It's June the 19th, year 2023. My apologies for not making a video for the past couple days. It's been a busy week, I guess. The next 2 weeks are going to be busy too. Hopefully you're doing outstanding. Yeah. So, here's the question of the day. What's going on? Yeah. So, what's going on? Yeah. So, you do any idea what I'm talking about? So, before I get started, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm coming to you still from Florida, and I'm not a financial advisor, not a CPA, not an attorney, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm a wannabe musician. I did take piano lessons as a kid for maybe a year or so, gave it up for football. And I've always loved all kinds of music. So, what's going on? Have you heard that song? It's actually a song. Not the so part. I just said so. What's going on? What's going on? Four Non-Blondes came out. No, I didn't look it up. I think in the early 90s, maybe. Four Non-Blondes. I'll put a link to it in the description below if you haven't heard this song, if you don't know this group. I encourage you to check it out. Watch the video. See what you think. It's a good song. She's a lead singer, is a female, and she has a good voice, I think. And she asked that question, what's going on? So I'll tell you what's been going on with Mazske and Mazske's world, and we'll talk a little bit about investing as well. Let's see, going back last week, I had a chance to meet up a little bit with Helicopter Pilot Caleb. We attended a dinner over on the east side of Florida, Boca Raton, and Troy Eckert was there with a couple of his staff. It was four of them all together. And he gave a nice presentation on a package portfolio that had coming out of mineral rights. And we had dinner. It was at a Ruth Chris restaurant. And it was a nice dinner. You know, we had salads, we had entree, we had a couple of vegetables, we had dessert, we had drinks. And it was a good time. Met some fellow partners and folks who are considering being partners. So if you're accredited, I encourage you watch videos I have with talking about mineral rights investing. It's a great investment to have. All right, looking ahead to this week. Oh, a couple things happened too. We also had a showing yesterday, and it stormed here yesterday. It rained a lot before the showing, stopped a bit, and then in the afternoon it rained quite a bit more. I lowered the level of my pool once yesterday prior to the showing. Right now it's a little bit higher. Like if you're familiar with swimming pools, you have a skim box on the side, and water has to go into it. So the water should be, if that's the box, the water needs to be slightly below that at least. Ideal is like in the middle, but slightly below it so water can get in there. So if it rains a lot like it does here in Florida, there's times it goes higher, it fills to the rim of the pool. But I have an overflow valve, and when it overflows, it'll lower the level of the pool from like the top edge down to right above that box. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna wait, I don't mean to cover my face up, I'm gonna wait for the pump to turn on here in a bit, and I'll see exactly how much I need to take out. I might just wait a little bit. It's sunny out there, water evaporates. I may just wait a little bit, or I got another manual valve I can open and let a little bit of the water out just to lower it down. Because then if you have anything on the surface in particular, like a bug floating around the surface, if it can't get in that skim box, it's just going to be on the surface. But if it can go in the skim box, then you got that filter in there, you got the pipes, it goes over to a big cartridge filter outside, and it's taken care of. All right, so what else is going on? I did get feedback from my agent. I was told the buyer looked at my house. It was a couple there. They looked at multiple houses yesterday, and they're still undecided what they want to do. I don't know what other houses they saw. I do know in the price range of my house, below it and above it, in that price range, looking at what's called Gulf access water with a swimming pool. I think there's only 9 houses. At least of a few days ago, there was 9 houses meeting that criteria with the size of my house. 9 houses. Some were higher priced than mine. Some were lower priced than mine. Looking at all those houses, it could be a tough call. It depends on what a person wants. My house is the only one that has a 2-level dock with a tiki hut, I believe, out of all those. I think I'm the only one that has a brand new renovated boat lift. Okay. I might be the only one that has a brand new pool surface. But then another one might have a freshly renovated kitchen. Another one, we all have different locations. So what will he decide? He and she, what will they decide? I have no idea. I have no idea. So anyway, looking ahead though, I am heading to Tampa here soon this week. As you know, I'm a Baltimore Orioles fan. They have a 2-game series in Tampa, Florida. St. Petersburg, I believe, is where the stadium is. And we're going to head up there, catch one of those games. One of my credit cards I got last year was a Marriott Visa Marriott Bonvoy card. It was a special going on. They gave me 5 free certificates, 5 free nights in Marriott hotels. And I'm using one of those nights there. So we're going to see the game and spend the night in that area. I used one in Boca Raton last week. I used one in San Antonio early May. I used one in Sarasota whenever I went there. Sarasota, yeah, I went to a spring training game, so that would have been probably in March. Stayed in a Westin up there. That's under the Marriott umbrella. And I have one left. I think I'm going to use that one in Miami soon enough when my oldest boy is going to become the commanding officer of a boat. And he's going to have a change of command ceremony. And I think I'm going to go over the night before, spend the night at that Marriott hotel. Be my 5th certificate that I'm using. And see the ceremony and spend time with my son. My other son may be flying possibly to my house in another week or so. And might spend a few days here. Then we'll probably all go over together to Miami. Then he'll head back to California, and both boys are going to get stationed on the East Coast. And meanwhile, we're still waiting for our house to sell, and we hope to be stationed living south of the border. All right. What else? The following week, I am taking a trip up to Gary, Indiana. I have approximately 67 houses on my list that I want to drive past and take a snapshot of with this phone of mine. We'll see how that works out. We'll see if I get by one house, 20 houses, 50 houses, 67 houses. We'll see if I look at a couple more. And we shall see. I'll probably, time will be tight when I'm there. I was going to say I'll try to make a video there, but time will be tight. Because I'm going to I'll see my property managers again. I'll see some other folks again that I like to see, hopefully. And then we'll be back. It'll be a fast trip. Free airplane flight. It was basically free. It was $407 or $408 round trip for each person. The missus and I are going. We each have a $300 travel credit on 2 different credit cards. So I bought the tickets on 2 different credit cards. So we got, both cards gave us the $300 travel credit back. So the tickets cost like $107 or $108 out of pocket. I will keep those receipts or those statements because that's a tax write-off. It's a business expense. I'm traveling to look at my rental properties. It's a business expense. So it's not the full price of the ticket. And I think it's a 50% write-off. I'm not a tax expert. I think you can write off 50% of the expense. So any meals that we purchase, I think it's 50% we can write off. I'll be staying in a hotel, several nights up there, but there'll be free nights in a hotel. But I'll probably get some meals I know I'll pay for, and I will get a rental car. I think the rental car I'm going to pay for. I'll use the credit card to get 10x points, I believe. But then that expense of that rental car, I believe, is also a 50% write-off. Okay? Benefits of being a real estate investor. You drive, you fly to your rental property. It's a tax write-off. Keep receipts. All right? So that being said, what's going on? Are you a real estate investor? Do you want to become a real estate investor? Do you know how to run the numbers on an investment property? Do you know how interest rates will impact your mortgage payment? Do you know what area you want to invest in? Do you want to invest in your backyard where you live at? Do you want to self-manage? Do you want to hire a property manager? If you hire a property manager, just on average, they'll charge about 10%, plus or minus. Depends on who they are and where they're at. Okay? Different markets have different criteria for great deals. If you're in Florida, Florida is expensive. If you're in California, California is expensive. If you're in Seattle, Seattle is expensive. Other places are expensive. If you're in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, it's not as expensive as Florida, but you still gotta run your numbers and find the right deals. If you want to buy up in Gary, Indiana, and I do, I've said this before. My best price on a house up there was I bought one for $18,000. When I bought it, it had been almost fully rehabbed, but needed some work, some painting and some floor work done. I spent, I think, another $5,000. So I paid cash for that one. So all in, because I had closing costs when you buy a house, about a grand, a little over a grand, I think. So it was like 24,500 all in for that house. So I own it free and clear, and it's rented right now. It's a little 2-1 house, real cute. It was fixed up really nice. I think it's at $850 or $900 right now. So you can run the numbers. Just easy math, $25,000 to buy it. It's renting for $850, $900, and it's below market value rent. The tenant's been there since day one of me buying it. So the rent could be raised, but we're raising it incrementally. We don't jack the rent up on anybody. All right. So anyway, the days of buying an $18,000 house are probably over in Northwest Indiana. With that being said, 10 years before that, folks are probably buying the same kind of house for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 up there in Indiana. Those days are over. So they're probably thinking, man, I can't get those deals anymore. I'm thinking I can't get the $18,000 deal anymore. All of my houses up there cost me between 18 grand and $69,000. Okay. I don't know if I can get any house up there now in that range that doesn't need a lot of work. I know I can. I'm going to have a guest hopefully on my channel. I need to message him. Dividend Dave, did you close on that deal you're supposed to close on? I'll shoot you a text in a bit. Let me know if you did. Hopefully you did. Hopefully it all worked out and you closed on time. He got a great deal. I know the house he's buying, if it worked out for him, because I was considering buying it myself. There's a little lizard on my screen on my window right there. So I was considering buying it myself, because when I saw that house, I was like, ooh, that looks like it will meet my criteria. I liked the price. I liked the house. I liked how it looked. I could tell it needed some work, and I could estimate just by pictures, just to guess how much work it would need. But I knew the price was cheap enough. I could not get financing for it, and without having private money, because I don't have any private money lenders to use. Help me out if you're able to. And I didn't have the cash to pay cash to buy it and to rehab it, so I didn't get it. And Dividend Dave hopefully has made a successful buy. All right. So yes. So anyway, with that being said, if you want to buy up there, you can check the MLS. I look at the MLS. You can find the great deals that I used to buy. They're kind of done, but you can still find you can find good deals in any market. You can find great deals in any market. You got to consider interest rates are higher now, so you really got to run your numbers. When you run your numbers and you subtract for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures, look at what you got to spend to rehab the property when you buy it and add that to the buy price. Like say you're buying it for $60,000, but it's going to cost you $20,000 to rehab it. Okay, now you're $80,000 all in. What will it rent for? Will it still positive cash flow? That's what you got to do. All right. Don't forget to count for your property manager, vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures. Use a percentage. Easy math for both those categories, or all four of the categories: vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures, property manager. Use 30%. Take out your mortgage. Do you pay to cut your grass? Do you pay to shovel snow? Do you pay a water bill? Any other expenses? Subtract all of that from your rent, and you'll figure out what your positive cash flow is. And then you can figure out your yield, your cash on cash return. Look at that. But realize it's a spreadsheet or it's a piece of paper and pencil you're using. Real life can be different. Prices can go up. Rehabs that used to cost $10,000 might now cost $20,000. Okay? So really learn your market well. You got to look at the overall market. While you're doing so, slow down a little bit and enjoy a cup of tea. Slow down and catch a sporting event that you like. Slow down and go to a musical event that you like. Slow down and participate in some sport that you like to play or some exercise you like to do. Try to live healthy, because if you can live healthy and become wealthy, it's the best of both worlds. Why not live to be 100 and be wealthy along the way? So, again, I ask, so what's going on in your life? Check out the link in the description below for non-blondes. What's going on? Let me know in the comments below what's going on. Have a great day. Maskies signing out.